in the winter months and as the temperature drops, you may find that your gas canisters struggle to work. The flame may die down, or in some cases the gas won't even light. You'll find as you're burning the gas also ice will form on the outside of the canister, and this will reduce the temperature again. So here are some tips that I've learned over the years that can help alleviate those issues. Well, this particular gas cooker is the Soto Windmaster. It's a very good gas cooker, and it has a regulator fitted to it, so the regulator will try and keep the pressure the same throughout. But as the temperature drops and ice forms on the outside of the canister, you'll find that even this cooker will struggle and the flame will eventually die down. Now, although it's difficult to see, there is actually ice now. I can feel it with my fingers forming on the outside, and the flame has gone really, really low. The flame now is pretty much at a point where it'll probably keep the water at a consistent heat, but won't raise the temperature, and you'll certainly struggle to bring it up to a boil. So one of the things you can do is, if you bring an extra pot of water with you, or maybe a mug, is you can actually submerge the gas into the water. Whether this will pick it up on the camera, I'm not sure. This is a little trangia pot. Now, whether you can hear that and hopefully see it, but as soon as I put it in the water, the flame started rising again. Now, this water is cold. It's probably a couple of degrees. In fact, it feels freezing cold, but it's still enough to raise the temperature of the gas. And then the moment I take it out, as it cools down again, the flame will start dying down. So there's tip number one, just a pot of water. Tip number two are using these hand warmers. You can get them off Amazon. They're really cheap and lightweight. And all you do is stick it underneath the gas canister. Now, these do take a couple of minutes to warm up once they're exposed to the air. So just move them around. That flame's really dying down now. Now, if you are going to use these, I wouldn't suggest you keep them under the canister for very long, just in case they cause too much pressure in there. It's just starting to warm up a little bit now. It's actually frozen to the table. There we go. So I'll put this underneath, and as it heats up, that will take the flame back up to temperature. Now, another method which I don't recommend, although I have seen people doing it, is actually putting your hands on it, because your hands are quite warm. Not so bad if it's around about zero, but just be careful, because with this being bare metal, your hands can actually stick to the canister and you're going to have some issues then. So although it does work, it's not a recommended method of doing it. These hand warmers will be great. Take a couple with you for your hands as well. Oh, it's nice, that. Another option is you can get four-season or winter gas, which is normally a mixture of butane and propane and isobutane. Some of them have little sort of devices inside that help keep the pressure high. Plus, I would also recommend, if you're going out for just one night, say, take a brand new canister with you, because it'll be full of liquid and it'll be easier to pressurize. I've got these, I've had these, used a few of these, quite cheap. I think they were about £3.50 off Amazon. And this has got an isobutane and propane mix in it. But as these run low, you find that the propane's probably burnt off and you've just got literally butane left, and butane does not work, especially when it's freezing. So there is quite a bit of gas left in that, but like I said, it's probably mostly butane. So another option, which is the preferred option, because this option also allows you to use all available liquid in that, is to use a remote canister stove, and I'll show you one now. Now this particular stove is called an Optimus Vega. There are plenty of different remote canister stoves you can get on the market. This one's one of the sort of more expensive ones. But basically the canister is separated from the burner by a pipe. Okay, so first of all, it's more stable because it has a lower centre of gravity, but also because this one has a preheat tube, which you can see here, because not all of the remote canisters have this preheat tube, it allows you to invert the canister and use it in the winter months. This particular one has also got these flip out legs here, which allow you to rotate the stand. Right, now that's on full blast and it's already struggling. Now a point to note with these, it must have a preheat tube for this to work. If you use one without and you turn the canister, it can cause it to flare up and you'll see loads of yellow flames everywhere, and it's pretty dangerous. You must let this tube heat up, so as long as you can actually light the gas, just give it a minute or so to heat the tube up before you turn the canister over. So there's a flame there, but it's quite low at the moment. But hopefully the camera will pick up the difference when I rotate it. So I'm now just waiting for this preheat tube to get hot. So as I turn the canister over, it's going to liquid feed the gas into the tube, heat it up before it goes into the flame. These stoves allow you to pretty much use all of the gas in the canister, so in the long run it will save you money, no more small bits of gas left in the bottom of the canister. So I'll gently turn this over. Now because the liquid gas does have to run down the pipe, this is not an instant thing, it can take a few seconds for it to work. So I'll turn it over, and there we go. You can see that the flames picked up. Now if this canister was full, that would be absolutely roaring. Just a final point to note with the remote canister stoves, when you turn it off, it's not going to turn off straight away, and that's because there is still some gas in this pipe here that needs to get to the burner. So I'll turn this off now, and it will take a few seconds before it actually goes out. Right, that's off. It's dying down. And there we go. So it's about 10 seconds or so for that fuel to burn off. So just something to be aware of if you've never had one of these before. Highly recommended to get a remote stove. If in the long term it's going to save you money on the gas, you can actually use all of the gas in that rather than the these top mounted stoves, there's always some liquid left in the bottom of it. I hope you found these tips handy. If you've got any other tips that you've learnt yourself over the years, please add them to the comments below. I'll be more than grateful to take any suggestions you have. In the meantime, please take care, look after yourselves, and I'll hopefully see you again soon. Bye.